Also, me baby frame. You know, people have no aquaba at the Cstv news at 25. So when I suppose and some I chegu or my mobile man say abuabu in the way ye the air barber so more. Now in 7 my usual the bedimo akotene and kasa. Ghana man penny John Dramani Mahama Ashe Eba watchable as what they never be able to appear say the apomode mapa so ebetimi akoso na fe so no for ede ababato edwa ese eba 24-hour market na se omobu ama imban so etimi enya won echefa weni nsana hobu ayewe ebo abo na yede eba so no sare buildings and Machinery and Block Manufacturing, KS Rafime School Limited, NAB Apartment Hotel, and our friends so Crystal Director Shop. Omonomoso Yasinde Via, Yede Kasia so, Ede Eba Besomo, Edi Amijeso, Mame Ama Bafua. Kasiano asiye dieni elkwa kochemu ewagana mampeni John Dramani Mahama na kache na jumedia wade eshishe so 79th World Health Assembly anachese mampeni eko piemu ewa asiye ebia ochebo ese eba apomode mapai wase bibira atoye femunu wotibi eka wadwe ebom na apomode mapai so etimi ejidane naso.
The system, we must be brave enough to look at institutional mandates and measures without fears. Second, let us invest in execution. The world does not need more communiques. It needs deal rooms, local factories, and resilient supply chains. And third, let us measure success by the clinic, not the conference. The only metric that matters is whether a child in the global south has a reasonable chance of survival as a child in the global north. Colleagues, the old global health order built in the aftermath of a different century is tottering. But a new order is rising. And this will be an order that is defined by agency, not aid, by partnership, not paternalism. And it is being built for the mother in the global south, who even as we speak this morning, will be delivering her child under the light of a lamp tonight. In Africa, we have a saying that one who plants the tree does not always sit in its shade. The reforms we are discussing today are for the generations we may never meet. And yet let our seriousness today be the shade they will rest in tomorrow.
Penny John Dramani Mahama Kasa Ye H na wade etu ejase wade sintidua ebe miensa esu osene be ya apomode mapa so betimi akoso.
We are advocating the practical capacity of a nation to finance its own core functions, regulate its own quality, produce its own medicines, and govern its own data. Ministers of health in the global south often spend more time writing donor reports than designing and fixing primary health care. This is a system that has confused the multiplication of institutions with the multiplication of impact. So to move beyond rhetoric, the Accra Reset, supported by a Presidential Council of Leaders from the Global South, is implementing 3 operational pillars. The first is the High-Level Panel on Reform. This is an independent body of global experts scrutinizing the global health architecture. The second is the Reform Interlock and Observatory. It's a coherent mechanism to ensure that the strategies of the WHO, Gavi, and the Global Fund don't clash on the desk of a district health officer in rural Africa. They must be in sync. And there is HING, we call it HINGE, that is Health Investment National Gateway Enablers. This will serve as the operational engine that converts political will into bankable, executable investments in local manufacturing and bioinnovation. In Ghana, we're leading by example. Our 2026 budget committed 34 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to $3.4 billion to health and expanded coverage to 20 million people.
Ghana Mampini Abedi Triya Professor Nana Demokoto Adamanende also Abba Amane is about a global governance system now. I say to me, I am such a young woman. They are about Burma to say media what they ever ban so it's me opinion.
If institutions and indeed democracy are to remain legitimate, they must remain responsive to contemporary realities. For many African states, the continued absence of meaningful African representation within key global decision structures, particularly the United Nations Security Council, remains a source of growing imbalance between the distribution of global power and the structures through which that power is exercised. But legitimacy is shaped beyond representation. It is also shaped by outcomes. Across much of the developing world, governments continue to operate within significant structural constraints, high borrowing costs, debt burdens, and unequal access to finance. These conditions affect the ability to deliver growth, stability, and opportunity at the scale that citizens increasingly expect. This is one of the defining governance questions of our time. Whether institutions, national and international alike, can adapt quickly enough to remain credible amid accelerating change while serving their people. It is true that Ghana is beginning to see encouraging signs of recovery and reform. Macroeconomic indicators are improving, investor confidence is gradually returning, and institutional reforms are taking shape. But grounded leadership also means resisting the temptation to celebrate prematurely. Strong results should not produce complacency. They should deepen responsibility because transformation is a process. The foundations may be strengthening, but the work of building an inclusive and future-ready economy is only beginning. And perhaps this is the deeper lesson in this age of disruption. Leadership must be both ambitious and disciplined, and confident enough to pursue change without ever losing sight of its mandate. What matters now is not so much how Africa is described, but how the continent organizes herself to compete, integrate, innovate, and build at scale. Data may illustrate the breadth of the opportunity and project the possibilities ahead. But our future will ultimately be shaped by leadership, by institutions that are capable of functioning credibly and consistently, and by systems capable of recognizing the full productive potential of her people. Thank you very much.
Ghana and its partners for organizing this timely and impactful program. Over the years, World Vision has made remarkable contributions to the educational sector through the provision of infrastructure, teaching and learning material, equipment, and capacity building programs for teachers and other stakeholders. World Vision's contribution to Ghana's educational development remains significant and is deeply appreciated. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the collective commitment of the World Vision Ghana and its partners to improving access to safe water, sanitation, and hygiene in schools is what has brought us here today. The theme for the dialogue, quote, "Wash in Schools, the prerequisite for academic excellence," unquote, would not have been more appropriate. It gives us another opportunity to reflect on the challenges confronting our schools and to review our commitment towards finding practical and lasting solutions. At the Ministry of Education, we recognize that a conducive learning environment goes beyond classroom, textbooks, laptops, and even qualified teachers. It must also include access to clean drinking water, decent toilet facilities, and proper hygiene services. But I wish to assure you that under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the visionary leadership of the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, no new school, and I emphasize, no new school infrastructure will be undertaken without the full provision of water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities.
Cargo aircraft for Frocrano, Baba, amateur say, a bibre, and my education, so it's me a conning.
Ghana is the future, it is the beacon of West Africa. Expanding our fleet is not only putting a bet on Ghana, it's showing that Air Ghana is here for today, tomorrow, and the foreseeable future. We plan to grow the fleet, to really build those links between the traders, between respective countries, and really get the farmers to where they need, get the produce to where it needs. Africa is the future, the cargo is here, we're here, and we're very excited for it. We operate across the entire West African region. We touch each and every single one. Wherever the cargo demand is, we can reach it. What we do is the farmers come to us and we help build them to get the cargo to the markets. So when they need to book 5 tons, say to go to Liège, we facilitate that. We book them on the passenger operators, for example, or on charter flights when we have them. So we understood what the problem was when we were farmers to get the produce to the markets. So we help find the solutions for the farmers. Now, we want to build the capacity. The more capacity there is, the more the farmers can grow. The more produce that can be made, the more that the farm makes. The farm is constrained by that capacity. So this is the first step. We want to build the feeding into Accra. And by building the feed into Accra, we're going to bring freighters to Accra. And when those freighters come and they drop those imported goods into Accra, we can then use that capacity for our farmers to get to the markets outside.
To find a fire and call in fire every 3 months. Now, 3 months to train your war at the Emma NDC Amanyo Kono, a over Richard. Kofi Esiedu in there make us say yes in Hinin Koso Hini, Ewa Agona Konyakon, and no Ewa Ife Matemu. Now I shabo as a beshe, and matches in Punto, so it's me about impotemo, a dear, Chese, Edan, Susu say, and Nana Isiedu Keteke, or Tosso Bako.
Ele was a bit in our. We say, Utu Kwaya, Ewa, Bobra, that's what the Kayo. Nanko Boga, Bono, Asinfusu, Enti, Asinfusu, Milo, et Amici. If you remember something, Asinfusu, Kuman, and Okotina, and Sana, need to be Regina Chairman. Tammy. Into the Asinfusu can be. Na nana okunoni on kan plantain koyako ene asinfusu de ene amebia na me no koyako bia no na ebisia ma asinfusu na sa okunu ni yankofa sonko abada wonte
Na a teachers for in Kabon ko your friend said not krabata ewo is na fo mesni ewa hafo matemu and then they were bo amani esebiaya omudi ananses ukos yapon ahodoa ewo sa mesni emua so teachers for no mobile munya baby omode omuti eto the sadin tinu eye teacher ni a ono eda eye nata no ewo is na fo not ana eye Peter Bosu akasa woche mu se wo sempenifoɔ ede woni ekyerɛ hɔ na afei so edan ahodo a kyese aho akwa atwe ama teachers for no wetumi esisi bie ede ama wɔn
na district na it covers Esnafo North and South. Now in these two districts na dey back a we say I consider am adwuma as a check for ene baby a yebeda nkrono bebre so nkrono bebre so a busua to musi da mi obi abusua no kwa na occupy is a teacher ni pedua ha kwa na ede enti yeba sa akwanya so na ya tonsa afre aban panifo say the teachers quarters ade ho ho pa yi various communities na mo so ngo CCB amaye yenka so munye bidie na nso no dodo na omuntumi nya de enye ento mo mwae mo teachers quarters wo me ahodo especially in Kronketron some we are church for no ye do mo ko so mo nkoya adwuma obenya ba bia tana
we so na ya da yan hotel ya ba ejodie mu nsem no de akechin so ye de beso
the manager of Crystal Jurek Pet Shop. Here, we have varieties of pet foods and accessories. When it comes to dog foods and cat foods, we have everything. We have the 25 kg pellets, the 20 kg, the 10 kg. We have Happy Home, High Performance, Dog Chew, Jack Pet Food, GC Puppy and Adults, High Retrieval, Happy Canine. When it comes to the leashes or the collars, we have everything, whether small, medium or large. We have their supplements, their vitamins, fish oils, medicated soaps, and their tablets. We also have the flea and tick sprays, their refreshers, and when it comes to their bowls, we have different types of bowls. Stainless or plastic bowls, medium, large. We have their traveling bags, their bathing tubs, their towels, and all their chains as well. We also do breeding of dogs and cats. Whether you are looking for poodles, puppies, any mixed breed, we have them. Foreign cats too are available. When it comes to their treats, we have the big bones, we have their biscuits, we have their snacks, we have our locations. One is located at East Legon American House, adjacent KB Clay, near Intifo Avenue Street. We also have a branch at Blue Lagoon, Sacramento, opposite the Ghana Poultry Farmers Association, General Anchor Street. You can contact us on 0243 03 2066 or 020 473 8175. At Crystal Jewelry, we will always want your pet to smile.
Samu bibia kwa vavioda so ehwe area pranto breakers here Cstv so dia me so e mame ama bafu ade so eye edwedie mu ensem na oba hima owo buem eye kwaman owo eye desikan mesni ewo oti mantem eye nana okrabia otosu mienu nande wade atu aban enemisen hokon ketenkete dwumedi a wade abano wanhwe se emma so betimi enya wo chefa ewo sa mesni no
ye wan sase bo bebre ye pese ye ya no ready say aban no ba so agriculture because the backbone of Ghana's economy is aban no ba no say of asase ya infoni panyinfo mo wo kuma ya make asase da ho ye ready say ye be ma aban no na wa be tu wa be ebe ye bi wo so dia boa ye kuntuo ye penkuntu nti ye hwe aban no say o ba be boa en kwa kitenkete no so ye hwe anim say ebi bedu ha ma ya ti asese o ma hyahye ye bompa ye say ebi so bedu ha na ma no na wo so ma nye bi na o ma
Nana sumpa hine kwame inewa kasa wochrebu ese sase a yaji yese behwe ama 24-hour market no yebetimi esi ema adihia wo yejinu openi etrebu edia ende ameka say de wona watete wanahya adihia wo honum no ama won biaye a won kwakotena na 24-hour market na omampeni ehye bose wo besie no betimi esi na edwedie so etimi akoso
24-hour economy market the traditional council ye de edaya komaso ebi ntina nananum hwe ya ye de asase a yegina hayi yegina su ede ama assembly say omomo na 24-hour economy market no wensi assembly bi di adanse nkuta ho a ekoso ye ne omontem hawa ne room but say project ni hia ye ntino ye hwe how ni nyina na yesi da bi aha ene de ma assembly a ebeboaye na ye de ama na ye dwin kura say e bi a size na assembly bi hia no ebeso anenso anso kura na ba say ye ntu ebi no nka ho a obi tu ebi no aka ho na aso na assembly enim say how da so ho ba how na wo ho no traditional council no na assembly be ya adwe na wo mo wo si tu wo mo no bibi a ye do mo be ko no bi a pe be do mo akọ na contractor ye adwuma onim say how bia eni ho
Demo and Samne Dini Achemu Ewo Obi my son na yade could you wo Ebola make us say dear attend Hupa Ewo Ayedi Al Congo number 4 HM and Pabesi Edio watching na Chisawa Femo Atwa Nananum Anase Amatua Nananum Ewa in Sedo Amachese Afufrona so Enya Saya de Ebi. Mayenko agudia mo ensem na semenyo Antoine semenyo anende wakasa wochrebu ese gamer omune ye Chelsea ekobo ye nanu ada ye memrenda no ade na emu ye dempa no wochrebu se ye Saturday na etwemu omune ye Chelsea akensi na wodi ebo eni no na emu ye densin omune ye Arsenal ekwa kobo ye no mayenko wie ye kase no nina ewo enigediem kase Na baba wa baako a kyese eba enyom to a wodi mu akotene pa wa Nigeria man no me Ira Star ende obo amane ese oba Nigeria man no ma nkane dodododum de ekoso pa ye a kyese enye fedia gwase free abra na wo sane nina no nkane entimi sisi so ewo Nigeria man no nti ade ananka esi ne so se obeye kra no wentimi yo se dani na one nana bia ana kyese ekọ edwedi bia o mokoton tools ana fe moko na so beba no na kyese kani okra enu ha odi sebi odi besua ade mpo na osi ohwe career inde owo mu aye enyum tuo na enye se sika anase woko amanaman ekobo enyum anase wotutu akwan ekọ sabia yo na anka enya ade se nkani akra se ne esi gina so no kra wotimi afemu anase wagine mu da na ye bejana se we so ne de kase ye boaboa no na ye de esi ewa Hasari Dream Jewelries Amsa Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing KS Fafime School Limited NAP Apartment Hotel and also Coastal Director Show common so ya sinde wi ya de kase so e de ebeso mo e de ngo so ya na me ama